Hello everyone. So here we have been given a question where Enigma is a company. It is an internet service company, and in order for people to register in their company, the users have to fill a certain type of criteria, like for example, uploading our documents, or giving mandatory fields like name and all that. So they have been they have given the set of criteria that needs to be filled by the user for the company. So here are the criteria. So the thing is that three things should be mandatory. The thing is customer name and two phone numbers as they have been given in the question. One alternate phone number are compulsory fields. So compulsory fields isn't we should be having those fields. We should give a variable. So these in the code it is compulsory and it is mandatory to give it. And then the next thing is we have passport. So for the passport, if the user has a passport, then he or she can give a passport. They can give the passport number. If not, then there are combination of documents which should be given. So there are three documents, which is license number and pan card number, and then voter ID. So here, as you can see, these three kinds of document combinations can be given. So either if the user does not have the passport, then he or she can give license number and pan card number, or voter ID and license number, or pan card and voter ID. So any of this is fine. So for this we can use the conditional statements, or we can also use the boolean types, data types, to ensure if the given, if the user fills the criteria, if it's true or not. So here we have been given the class, the variables, and also the methods that should be followed. And here we have been told that we should open a tester class to implement the code. So let's keep the main method or the main class to be tester class. So here I'm opening VS Code. So I have already given the variables and everything. I have used the constructor variables, constructor overloading to this is a parameterized constructor in order to initialize the variables using this keyword. And I have also given the name, phone, alternate phone number, passport, license, pan, and voter ID. So these are the variables. I have given everything in string. So first of all, after this I'm going to check if the user meets the criteria, that is the criteria of the documents, or the mandatory fields. So I'm going to open a public boolean is valid user, and I'm going to open this, and I'm going to give if condition of if name is empty, or phone number or phone is empty, um, is empty. And then we're also going to check if the alternate phone number is also empty. So as you can see, I have given all the fields, and I'm going to open the curly braces in order to give the required condition. So if the user does not give any of these three fields, that is if all these three fields are null or not given or is empty, then it should return as false, which means the user is not going to be registered for the internet services. And then after that, I'm also checking if if the passport is not equal to null. If the passport is not equal to null, then there's no need of going for the other document combination. So if the passport is not equal to null, then we are giving as true. So the next thing is we are checking for the document combinations, which is this. return of license not equal to null and pan not equal to null, and then I'm also um, giving as voter ID is not equal to null and license is not equal to null, and then after that I'm also checking for if the pan is not equal to null and voter is not equal to null. So here for this I have given these. So here what we're doing is that we are checking for the first three mandatory fields. I'll checking first three mandatory fields. So for the name, phone and alternate phone number, and then we are checking for the passport. If passport is if the user has passport, if not, if the user does not have a passport, then we should return all these. So that's why we have given this, and then after that, as you can see, this boolean method is closed, and now we are going to open another method, which is public void of display registration status. So let's keep that as the name, display registration status, because we want to know if the user has been registered or not, given by the criterias. So here what we're going to do is, if we're going to check for if is valid user, if is valid user, that is if this method is satisfied, then we should print out this result, that is registration is successful. Registration is successful. If not, then we're going to print else we're going to print that the registration has failed. And now this is another method, and right now what we're going to do is we are going to close this class, and then we're going to open another class, which is public class of tester. So in the question we saw that we have to implement the code using the tester class. So I'm giving the main class as tester, the name should be tester, and then we are going to open the public static void main function, string of args, and then what we're going to do is we're going to ask the user to enter all of the criterias, or we can also give according to this, as we have already given um, you know the variables, that is the name, phone number and alternate phone number using constructors. I'm also going to give it in that method. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to give it as user of u1 is equal to uh, new of user, where I'm going to give this um, I'm going to start with giving the name. So let's say I'm giving Alice, and then I'm giving a phone number. Let's say, and then I'm going to give another alternate phone number. Okay, I think it should be in string 2. And then after that, I have given the first three mandatory fields, and then I'm going to give passport. So for the passport, this user is going to give passport and need not give the other three combination of documents. So I'm going to give the passport number. Passport number can be this, and then I'm going to give this as null, null, and null. And I'm going to check if this is working or not. If this user is being registered or if it's giving an error. So user 1 registration, and we are adding using the object name I'm calling for user 1 dot is valid user, is valid user. Okay, alright, let's see if this works. Yes, so as you can see, the registration is true. Now I can give user u1 dot display registration status. You can also see if that works. As you can see, user 1 registration true, registration is successful. I'm going to give um, another combination, another user where the passport is not given. So let's say this user's name is Charlie, and then I'm going to change like certain things, and then this user is not giving the passport, so I'm giving this field as null. So either we have seen three combinations. So the first combination is license number and PAN card number. So I'm going to implement it over here. License number, I'm not going to give it as null, but instead I'm going to give the license number as 1 2 3 4 5. And then for the PAN card number, I'm also going to give that as PAN of 7890 something, and then voter ID is null. So now I'm going to check if yes, now I'm going to check if this is okay. The user's object should be different. That's the mistake that I made here. And now we are going to print this. So system.out.println, and we are going to print the user to registration, user to registration, and now I'm going to add u2 dot is valid user, and I'm also going to check for the display registration status. So now let's see if this works or not. So user 1 registration is true, registration is successful. User 2, I have not given the passport, but I have given the license and the PAN number. So it is true and the registration is successful. So